welcome to another song title challenge where you get inside the mind of a hit songwriter. And we want to know, how would you write this one? When we post this up on the C.L.I.M.B community or in some of the songwriting groups, comment on it. If you got a different viewpoint that we didn't cover, put it under there. Let's all get in on it. This is where you get into the mind of Brent Baxter, hit songwriter. Climbers send us in a song title, and we get about 15 to 18 minutes to try to craft up 3 to 5 different conceptual approaches to how you would write the lyrics for that song. This is typically what happens in a writing session at the beginning, the first 15 minutes or so. Rather than just sort of start writing lyrics, everybody wants to make sure they're on the same page and they have the most clever angle before they start going down that road. It's not a co-write in any way, shape, or form. If you send your title in, it's 100% your song. You don't owe us a thing. You can use what you want, not use what you want. Just invite us to the number one party, right?
That's right.
Anything you want to add to that?
Man, this is for edutainment. You know, hopefully it's going to inspire you, enlighten you, challenge you to dig deeper into your ideas and find the best angle for your ideas, and just to realize that, wow, these ideas that I think only have one obvious direction, they might have a lot of other directions inside, and just to, challenge you to do your best work. So let's do it.
There you go. Okay, so here we go. And by the way, I spring these live on Brent, live on the show here. He hasn't heard anything. He has no idea what I'm about to spring on him, so it's super fresh. And we just like pop, okay? Yeah. And by the way, if you have a title that you want to send in, send it to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. Once again, info@daredevilproduction.com, and put song title challenge in the subject line, please.
That's right.
Are you ready, Brent?
Not at all. Let's do it.
All right. So this is from, we've done another song title from this artist in New York, Nikki Narradin.
Nikki. Okay.
Dr. Nikki. And the song title is Ring of Truth.
Oh, okay. Ring of Truth.
Yeah.
All right. There's a little something there we can work with, I think. So, I'm a country hammer, so everything kind of looks like a country nail. So that's just kind of my, when I start looking at things, that's kind of the angle I tend to take. Doesn't mean it's the right thing, but, for me in a room, that's probably the right thing. For you, it might be different. So Ring of Truth, I try to let the title write the song. So I'm looking at these words. Ring. Okay. Well, you have the original ring meaning, right? The normal meaning of that is, somebody says something has a ring of truth to it. It sounds truthful, that it has the ambience of truth in it, right? So you got that. You have ring like a bell. You have a ring like a wedding ring, an engagement ring. So there's maybe stuff there that we can play off of. You can play off truth versus a lie. There might be something like that. When a lie has a ring of truth, or something. Which I don't know what that means, but we might figure it out. So,
well, that could be just about every political news story on both sides of the aisle. Every lie that's up there has some ring of truth to it.
It's believable.
Yeah. Well, it's based on something. You're not sure how they've contorted it out of reality, but it's based on something, right?
Yeah. Man, it could be like. And so just brainstorming, I think of, it could be like a female song and some dude's hitting on her in a bar and she's like, yeah, you saying you're single, but that little white band around your finger. That's the ring of truth right there.
Oh, that's good.
He's lying, but whatever. His lie's pretty smooth, but that, but on his finger, still a ring of truth. Even though he took his wedding ring off, it's that you can just tell that there's normally a ring there, where there's the impression of it. I'm looking at mine right now, just kind of taking my wedding ring off. It's like, it's not so much because it's wintertime, not like it's so tan, but it's still, you can tell an impression where it's been on my fat finger for going on 13 years now. You just tell. So that could be like the ring of truth. Like, you're hitting on me and you think you're pretty smooth, and your lies are pretty smooth, but man, that mark on your finger, that's a ring of truth or something. Could be something like that. It could be more of a positive way where, man, these lies, it could be a marriage that is kind of under attack, right? And in doubt. But you look down and you see the ring of truth. Like, no, we love each other. We're committed. We're not giving up on this thing. You can have these lies that's saying we're through, but you just look down and see the ring of truth. Like, no, we're not going to give up on this. We're not going to be a statistic. We're going to work it out. That could be something too.
Well, it gives you some perspective, right? Where you go back and and you remember why you got married.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you're taken away mentally. You're taken away from whatever thing it is that you're obsessing on right then and there that's got you upset. And all of a sudden you kind of see the forest through the trees and
get some perspective. Go, this is not just like a boyfriend girlfriend thing. We're in this for the long haul. We have history. We have, you could be like, we're mad at each other right now, but the lie is that this is what our relationship is. But no, the Ring of Truth says there's so much more to this, just kind of getting that perspective.
That's good.
That'd be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ring of Truth.
Could you say this? Could you go, this is gonna come the week after Christmas, the Friday after Christmas, isn't it? It's
the 28th.
So could you go like hardcore sort of Christian on it and talk about the Ring of Truth maybe as the
like a halo Jesus kind of thing,
or a halo? That could be one, or what Jesus wore with
the crown of thorns.
The crown of thorns. Yeah.
Easter kind
is it a crown of thorns or a Ring of Truth? Like,
yeah.
Could you play off of that?
Maybe if you did it right, I don't see why you couldn't. That's interesting, yeah, because the crown of thorns on Christ's head during the crucifixion. I'm not sure how to twist that, but that is cool because that was a crown was the ring, and he is the way, the truth, and life. So there's something
and he bled the truth, right? Like I mean, and that was put there by the Romans, right? Like it was it was supposed to.
It was supposed to be in mockery, like, "Oh, here's your crown."
Yeah,
but even that, it was a Ring of Truth. He really is King of the Jews.
That could be something like, where you're talking about, the worst sort of nastiness, poison that's spit at you, or something like that. Yeah. This could also show the Ring of Truth. It just depends on how you.
Yeah.
React.
Well, that's interesting because they put a purple robe on him after they scourged him. So his back was all torn up, blood, and put a robe on him, a purple robe, which signified royalty. Because that was the thing. They said they crucified him, basically said, hey, he says he's the king of the Jews. So the Romans need to get rid of him because they don't want to cause a riot and an uprising, that kind of stuff, whatever. It's all the stuff. But anyway, so, you're the king of the Jews. Let's put this royal robe on you. And then let the blood kind of dry a little bit, then rip it off, right?
Ooh.
So, tough way to go. But ironic, right? And then you had the crown of thorns, like, oh, you're the king, here's a crown. And then above, like on the cross, it said, like, here's the king of the Jews or whatever. And all that's supposed to be ironic and sarcastic and stuff, but it was true, right? If you believe it's true. So there's something there to play with for sure. That's cool. And going to, so that's interesting. I like that, Johnny.
All right, and I'm out. Drop the mic, walk off the stage.
So I've got an idea about a hooker, and no, since we're trading spots today.
Usually that's where I'm at. Yeah, that's right. Instead of talking about hookers, I want to talk about Jesus today.
Right. Okay, the Ring of Truth could also be a phone ringing.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, it could be, so you could play off the phone thing, which could be interesting too. It's like, I keep telling myself that you're going to come back. We're going to make it. It's all going to be good. But that phone that ain't ringing has a ring of truth.
Ooh.
Something like that. Like she ain't calling.
That's heavy. Yeah.
That phone ain't ringing. And that's a ring. And that's what really has a ring of truth. Even through all my lies, that phone that ain't ringing has a ring of truth or something. So, Nikki, I'm liking this. Nikki, I'm liking this. Thank you. The phone thing, or it could be, the phone that does ring. Something about that has a ring of truth. Like, I keep, like we're not going to get back together is the lie. I'm not going to call. I'm not going to call her. I'm not going to tell her I'm sorry. I'm not, because I'm done. But sure enough, here I am giving her phone the ring of truth.
That's good.
Like, we are going to get back together. I am going to apologize. I'm going to say I'm sorry because I was an idiot.
Oh yeah, you could be like self-deprecating, like you're the tough guy, like what the monologue, the internal monologue that a guy would have, and say like, I know what I'm doing. Shouldn't tell me.
I'm better off without her. We're not getting back together. I'm not going to say I'm sorry because I'm not wrong, but here I am giving her phone the ring of truth.
And while I'm thinking this, I'm dialing her number. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So that'd be something a little more positive, right?
Yeah.
Because, there's darkness in it, but here we are. He's taking steps to rectify the situation, to make things better. This is fun. This is a tasty one. Ring of truth. So, I mean, a lot of that is we're just, I'm looking for clues in the title. Yeah. It could be just, you could write just about any topic you want to and say, and that has a ring of truth. Okay. But it's hard to reverse engineer that. I want to reverse engineer it from the title and play off ring, play off truth. Let's see what else we got. Ring of truth, ring of fire, ring of, the rings, I know dead air is not great for a show, so I don't want to think too much.
What's round? Like, what about the sound hole in an acoustic guitar?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's a ring of truth. Ring of truth. Yeah, it rings. It's a ring of truth. The circle at the Grand Ole Opry, that circle of wood from the original Opry stage.
Yeah.
That circle, that's a ring of truth, man. Because, 3 chords in the truth, country music, the truth, whatever, you can talk about that,
There you
go. Step into the ring. There's that thing too, like of the ring, the arena of truth.
Ooh.
Are you ready to step into the ring of truth? Like, are you ready to get real?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to be real, there's going to be a battle. Maybe the world doesn't want to hear what's real, but if you're going to step into the ring, step into the ring of truth. Tell the truth, be real, even if it's not popular. It may be a battle, but
you may be delivering bad news, but if you really love the person, if you really are trying to do right, then you owe it to them in the most compassionate way to tell them the truth.
Yeah. So there's something, it could be like the holding somebody accountable, like almost the come to Jesus, or the intervention kind of thing, where it's a battle. It's not going to be well received, but for them, you're going to fight for them, right? So you need to step into the ring of truth.
Yeah.
So you plan off step into the ring, like a boxing match or whatever. It's going to be a struggle, battle, and the ring of truth. So that can be something cool too. That's a kind of a more of a philosophical idea, but also could be, the whole live your truth kind of thing, right? This self-empowerment kind of thing. Speak truth to power. They won't want to hear it. It may be a battle, but step into the ring of truth.
Oh, I got another one.
Kind of political kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of times, the engagement rings are family heirlooms, right? Mm-hmm. Where it was grandma's ring, and she gave it to me to give to whatever girl I'm going to put. Yeah. That's going to get this ring, I'm going to put it on her finger. And it could be a story like you're talking about the girl that you're about to marry, the singer is, right? Yeah. And also because she bestows the same values and virtues that grandma had, so you get the ring. Yeah. That could be cool. That could be heavy. Like, this is the ring of truth. Like, she always told the truth. Because sometimes your parents are even like, they might not give you the whole story, and sometimes you get the whole story from the grandparents. You know what I mean? Like they're not lying like in an evil way or something, but sometimes you get
you leaving stuff out
from grandma and grandpa. Yeah.
Giving you the highlight reel.
Yeah, this is what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what really happened. And so that kind of stuff where, you learn some of those life lessons from your grandparents, if you're lucky enough to be able to have a relationship with them. And that could be something where at the same time you're talking about the girl whose ring you're going to put it on. So this is why it's yours.
Yeah.
Like, that could be cool. That could be a Brett Eldredge song.
Yeah. Yeah.
T-Rat.
And thinking of the ring thing, going back to marriage, earlier we kind of twisted it as if like maybe I'm doubting that we'll make it, but I look down and see the ring of truth. You could also flip that to, I know you're worried about us and you may have your doubts because you've been burned before, but just remember the ring of truth, like that I'm wearing, like I'm not going anywhere. So you're reassuring the other person
A song of reassurance. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a song of love and reassurance is a different take on it because maybe you're not the one that's worried because you had a fight and you're not sure if you're going to make it, but you look down and you're reassured like, no, we are in this. It could be the other person has their doubts or has been burned before. It's like, just look down, I'm wearing that ring of truth. This is for real. Don't believe the lies in your head. Don't believe everything you think, just remember, that could be something too. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff there. What's our time?
That's a lot of stuff.
We're at 15 minutes. I feel strong.
I feel strong too. Way to go, Nikki. Thanks for sending that in. Nikki. Guys, hey, send in your title. Send us what you got. We'd love to talk about this on the air. It's super fun. Mm-hmm. And we always, sometimes I think, man, this isn't going to go anywhere. And then Brent to the rescue. He's like, oh, I got 10 different ways. Like, we could write this. So
just thank you that this song is not like 18 international minutes or something. That one, my brain still hurts from the last one.
So, hey, if you got a title, please send it in to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. Put song, title, challenge in the subject line, please, so that it gets to the right place. And we'll probably maybe read it on the air. I mean, you never know. Again, so you own 100% of the song. It's just invite us to the number one party. So
that's right.
Brent, if somebody's got to work on a song with you and they want to do it privately, maybe they figure they got like a real badass title and they don't want to give it away publicly.
They want to throw it around to our millions and millions of listeners.
Yeah.
I do private one-on-one songwriter, consulting and coaching. And so you can get the details. You can book a session. You can see my calendar, all that stuff at songwritingpro.com/coaching. Basically, we can prepare your song. We can repair your song. You can ask me questions about the art, craft, and business of songwriting. Get my input on your songs, get feedback, here's a title. I've had people just hook up just to do song title challenges. I got a couple titles. I want to get some ideas and potential angles from you, and then I'll go write it. Yeah, great. And that's fun. That's like this, only we don't record it. Yeah. So I can do that, or if you bring me stuff that's more finished or whatever, we can look at those too, man. I'm just live to serve. So you can find, like I said, you can get all the details, figure out, and it tells you how to book a session. You can see my calendar, my availability, and you can actually book a session at songwritingpro.com/coaching.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks again for sending in the title there, Nikki Narradin. This podcast exists because we want you to win. So keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.